Welcome. You're listening to the Circuit Podcast, your source for motorsports, racing news, car culture, and car reviews. Now, here are your hosts.
All right, guys, welcome back to episode 39 of the Circuit Podcast, brought to you by Baked Goods Creative and eJudge. I'm here with Matt and Keith. This week, we're going to be talking about motor swaps, particularly in FRSs, with the grenades that they have under the hood in the first place.
Yes.
We're going to do a little word association towards the end here.
We'll play a little game, see if we can entertain you folks.
A little speed round.
Probably end badly.
Yeah, good.
It always
And
does.
we're also going to cover a lot of the racing that we watched this week and took part in.
Holiday weekend. Lots and lots of racing on TV.
So we're going to start it off with the grenade that is the FRS motor.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with I'll give some pretense here. So the FA20 that is in the WRX is a solely and wholly different motor than the one that is in the FRS. The one that is in the FRS has proven to have massive oil pressure issues, oil pump failures, and oil temperature issues, especially once boosted.
And that's just starting.
Yeah, that's the start of it. The transmission is known to only be good to roughly 350 to 400 horsepower before it starts shitting out gears.
Not a Subaru transmission either.
Yeah, it's an Aisin transmission. It's
which is Toyota's.
Yeah, it's a Toyota,
something.
and it's not. I mean, did I used to do the rock crawling stuff?
The whole car
and
is a
everything?
joint venture, so I mean,
Yeah,
It's a hodgepodge.
yeah.
I used to do the rock crawling stuff, and Toyota's truck transmissions were Aisin trans, and they were always such good transmissions. Very easily bulletproofed.
Well, they probably should just put one of them in it.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the differences are completely between this 6-speed and those. I know those are top loaders; these aren't.
Right.
But yeah, so the subject has come up a
Looks
lot
would have been
about.
durable.
Yeah, well, and there's an R154 swap available to put an R154 behind it, which is the 5-speed that was in the Supras that were non-get rag.
Right. They were pretty much bulletproof.
Yeah, well, and Marlin Crawler, ironically enough, Marlin Crawler, the Toyota crawling specialists, sell a drift spec R154 transmission. The swap's a little bit pricey to do it because you're doing adapter plates and mounts and drive shafts and all kinds of stuff there. The bigger issue is under the hood. A lot of guys are in fact, a week ago now, at a track day, there were some failures.
Quite a bit, I heard, right?
An oil pump failure in one locally. And then another guy with a fully built motor out in the Midwest actually blew the freeze-out plugs out of the head.
Which I've never seen happen to.
A completely new one to me. It kind of threw me for a loop too.
Freeze out plugs out.
Yeah,
You know
blew them
how
out of the
hard that
head
is to do?
into the valve underneath the valve cover, rattling around with the valves.
Yeah.
I believe he called it early enough. He didn't cause any damage. Just talking to him briefly, but I got into a discussion with these two because these are kind of two of the guys pushing the limits, other than Phil down at Element Tuning with these motors and stuff, and I'm seeing temperatures that they think are crazy and pressures that they think are ridiculous. And I've been toying with the idea of a swap basically since I turboed this car and found out all the nightmares. There's swaps out there, LS swaps. There's 2J swaps, 1J swaps. There's even one that had a Beams motor swapped into it.
Ferrari swaps.
Yeah, there's a Ferrari swap.
Didn't someone do an SR swap in one of those too? Or did anybody not do that
I
yet?
believe there was one that they started on an SR swap. I don't know where it is now. The Pro Drift guys, so from the Pro Drift guys, we've seen a 2.5 swap. Gretty, actually, their first year that the car was out, their drift car had a 2.5 in it,
Right.
an EJ.
An EJ motor, yeah.
Which I'm not sure how they did it. It took a ton of fabrication, I'm sure, because that motor's too wide to fit between the frame rails.
That and, with the turbo situation with the manifolds and everything,
It's all custom stuff. Yeah.
It's all about a drag race setup at that point.
It's pretty much ridiculous
it's not
to
a
try.
swap as much as a
Yeah.
re-engineered car.
There's the Tony Angelo's car had the minivan motor in it, the 2.7 or whatever it is, minivan 4-cylinder, turbocharged, and his. That car is still being campaigned, I believe currently still being campaigned under another driver, but I can't confirm that, so I just won't list his name because I'm not 100%. Then there's all the LS cars.
Yeah,
Basically, any other one that's drifting is an LS car at this point, or a
we
2J.
We kind of all knew that.
Tureks is 2J'd. His street car, as he calls it, is 1J'd. And then he's got that Ferrari mess.
Let's see if that thing ever actually gets moving.
Well, they've got a harness and everything, and it's wired, and we'll see. The bigger issue with this car is, so if you're wondering, this car is a CAN bus car, which means without crank signal, nothing really works. It's electric power steering. Without crank signal, you have no power steering. The Band-Aid for that is apparently a Toyota Camry steering rack bolts right up. Get some custom lines made off of whatever motor's power steering pump, is the swap, and bolt it in.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to do anything with the STI steering racks.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's what I'm saying. Somehow a Camry is apparently the bolt holes line up perfectly and it just bolts in. And I would assume the outer tie rods are probably the same pitch and thread, so you can. It's a lot of swappable stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I bet the Subaru is probably the same thread pitch too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know a lot of the guys with the older Subarus are buying the new STI racks. I don't know if it was the same spacing.
Well, and that's I don't know on the subframe the mounting points might be a little different or something. The
Well, not to mention
Camry's
it's
probably fairly similar.
Well, it's power steering, so you're going to have to do the pump and all that stuff.
It's going to have to be creative. Yeah, so the biggest issue is when you swap these things, you have no functionality. You have to overcome the functionality of
electronics
your dash.
wise.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do because I want to keep it a street car. Now, I can emissions exempt it so they don't have to scan the computer. That covers that battle.
So you could do full standalone.
I could do full standalone, and then I could do a race dash.
Like a race pack or...
An IQ3S is what I'm thinking. As long as the motor's OBD2, I could do an IQ3S and just plug into the existing OBD2 on the motor harness. Problem solved. We're done. Right?
Yeah,
I don't have heater controls, maybe. We don't know. We'd have to play with that a little bit.
And the nice thing about those race packs it's basically just a diagnostic OBD2 port plugged into a screen.
Exactly. It does all the hard work.
Yeah.
The other option is to do a full standalone and do a race dash with all the individual sensors and all that stuff, or a Motec. Motec kind of does a system with that. You use their ECU, you buy their dash, and they program it, and happy honky dory, you go down the street for $4,000.
Yeah, and that doesn't even involve the
programming or the tuning
and the wiring issues.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. So Reed Racing now claims they have a harness available that will allow you to keep the functionality of everything as long as you can use a Motec system.
So the Motec
is for Motec.
So the Motec is the brains, and then they use a somewhat
he does
in between thing to get.
He does some wiring voodoo to make it all work.
So you can just plug it in and go.
Yeah. Now, that said, so what motor do you put in your FRS? If all this magic problems didn't exist, the goal is to do it budget friendly, which. Okay, by budget friendly, I mean let's try to
if
keep
you're doing budget friendly, nothing's going to be.
That's where you're wrong.
I thought that too until I started researching it.
Underground Racing swap kit that does not include headers is them repinning your ECU and harness and all the stuff that you send into them is $7,000. That's just a subframe.
Yeah,
but it's a complete
subframe, motor mounts, and wiring.
It doesn't include the engine.
You need to find an engine, a trans, your own headers, get a custom-made exhaust, figure out. They give you the oil pan for their
the simplest
sump.
to probably fit in would be a rotary because they're small.
But there's nothing simple about making a rotary run. That's the problem.
Yeah.
As far as fitting something under the hood easily,
space-wise. Yeah. Now I have seen a beams motor. It's been done. A guy in Kentucky, I think, had a beams motor in his.
Which is a Toyota motor.
Yeah, it's Toyota. It's a 3SGE.
Right.
It's the holy grail of 3SGEs. It came in the Altezas overseas. Yeah. Basically, it's a 10K redline motor from the factory.
All our initial D fans remember that's what they dropped in the A86.
A86, yes. Long tube headers, throttle bodies, and done. The problem is a really well built beams motor makes 300 on really high compression and race gas. Not exactly. I mean, I could street it and live with it, but it's going to be finicky. The tuning is going to be finicky, and you're going to deal with things.
Well, you will with a rotary too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so if you do a beams motor boosted, which a lot of guys do build those motors,
low compression, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can make power on that motor. It revs to the moon. But now we're back to playing this wiring harness ECU game.
So back to
mounts and
So back to the LS stuff, because out of all those motors, the cheapest motor to buy is obviously the LS.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, it is the cheapest of the motors.
I mean, I've researched them for my Fiero swap, and I've gone anywhere between $1,200 to $4,000 to $15,000.
Depending on what you buy.
It's the same thing with the
As far as the
1J.
motor
You
is
can pick
being
up a
set up.
1J used for about $500 all day.
Right.
The problem is you're going to be in it for a rebuild.
Right.
The LS. LS's, I question whether I need to rebuild sub 100,000 miles because
I think
they're
it all
typically
comes down
pretty
to what
reliable.
you want the car to do.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other issue,
I mean,
right?
obviously,
I mean, we know a guy that had an LS twin turbo Volvo that had 170,000 miles on the thing, and it still put down 800.
The Cadillac that was bought with the LSA or whatever that blower motor is had over 100,000 on it before he started beating on it, and that thing made passes, a lot of passes before he rebuilt it.
I think if I were going to road race the car, I would want the rotary. If I were going to drag race the car, I'd probably want the LS.
Well, there is an LS swap drag
and even
car
drifting,
in
I'd
Maryland.
probably want the LS.
Well,
you get the torque out
here's
of it.
the
Get all the
difference.
torque out of it. But on a road racing course, you don't have the granite fucking anchor in the front. Like,
Believe it or not,
problem
they're
is
not that heavy.
The LS
surprisingly.
compared to
Hold
a
on.
rotary.
Hold on. Here's the math.
Yeah, I mean, you're
so here's the
dropping
math.
a ton of weight.
A 2J is like 60 pounds heavier than my existing motor.
Yeah.
An LS is 20 pounds lighter than the 2J.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I did all the formulations and I was getting ready to do my motor swap for the Fiero, and I was like, wait a minute. So if I take out the V6 and put the LS
You
in,
lose weight.
I'm actually
what's the
losing almost
rotary weigh?
70 pounds.
I don't know. I can't find
They
a
can't
good-
be heavy because I've lifted one out of a car.
Well, that's the thing. But that's the problem.
Lifted
See?
it me, no engine.
When I find rotary
Hoist.
weights, they're all really high because they include the manifolds, the
Yeah.
turbo, all
It's
that
not
stuff.
just the rotor
Yeah.
motor
Great.
itself.
When they weigh an LS or a 2J,
It's the whole
it's
engine.
the bare block.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean?
with
It's
no
a long
head.
block.
It's a long block.
Yeah.
Long block,
So
yeah.
when they weigh a rotary, they weigh a whole motor, and when they weigh that stuff, they weigh a long block. So I can't figure out the right math.
I'm willing to bet it would not be that far off by adding all the
here's the
plumbing
thing.
and the turbo, depending on how they're weighed. It wouldn't be that far
Yeah,
off.
no, and my thing is with the rotary motor, it's short. So everything is going to be, again, Subaru style, set
ag-
way back
up
by
against the firewall.
Yeah, by the shock tower and stuff, and the weight balance is going to be good again.
Right.
I really love the idea of a rotary swap. Here's the stick in the mud, though. A used rotary motor from Japan is, if I want just a straight 13B, it's about $3,500 with the ECU and all that stuff. Then you're in it for a rebuild. Okay, fine, you're going to do a rebuild. Rebuild kit's about, I've seen them for up to $1,000 if it's a full
Yeah,
rebuild
they're not
kit.
horrible, but they're not cheap either.
No. Well, here's the shit kicker, though. To have somebody rebuild it and port it, because let's face it, it's going to need ported. We're in it for like $3,000 again.
Yeah. The cheapest place I found was these guys in Australia that started their street ports, I think at 7 something.
Yeah.
US, not
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
It was like 7 something.
And you're
per
getting hammered
rotor.
on the shipping.
Actually, it wasn't that bad. The shipping was like $100.
Well, yeah,
it wasn't
okay.
because
Freight then, so
because
it
he
takes
actually
some
had
time.
freight
Yeah.
because he does a lot of work. With
I was
stuff
looking
in
at
the
a couple
US.
places here in the U.S., your Mazda Tricks,
Right.
Places
typical
like that.
rotary
Yeah,
guys.
the typical shops. And Atkins was another one. Atkins is a huge rotor shop.
Okay, I just because I wanted to check on it.
Weights.
LS motor swap's about 500 pounds. Rotary 246 whole motor. These are whole motor now, but like you said, it does only the rotary is the whole motor.
Yeah.
This just says long block.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're at 500 pounds just for the long block as opposed
Well,
to
the problem is-
247 for the entire motor on the rotary. Now, granted, but you can go crazy rotary and 4 rotor.
Well,
I'm
you
just
could
looking
go
at a
ape shit, a
normal
2 rotor, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like there's potential there. So if I go through the process to do a rotary swap, my rough math. This is real rough math based on me being able to build some of the stuff and
have fabricated locally by people we know.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm in it for 15.
At least.
And that's not a crazy rotary motor. I'm looking at a 300 horsepower motor. I want to be in that 350 range. And that's using the RX-7 trans because let's face it, my trans is a bad apple.
I'm just thinking, cost-wise, and I hate to say this, but if you go for your ECU, if you get rid of the Band-Aids and just do straight standalone to something that already has a standalone available, like a rotary or an LS.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking when I was doing my swap, I was doing Motec. I'm pricing it out.
And I know just from my research with my car, the LS, they already offer a full ECU with harness that a lot of the race guys use.
Yep.
And
They have a drop-in kit.
basic programming, and I think everything right around. My total number for the swap, now I was going to go boosted LS in the Fiero.
Yeah.
So my budget was a little bit higher, was about 12.5, and that was boosted.
Yeah,
Because my situation is different because I'm going to buy the tranny and motor together, but I'm not going to use the transmission. I'm going to sell that later.
Well, and your problem too is you're not fighting space constraints like the way I am. Let's say what I'm fighting is brake booster, firewall.
Yeah, I don't have that in the Fiero.
Yeah,
the
you don't
back's
have
just an
that
open
stuff.
It's just open.
Yeah, and from what I gathered, the guys that have done it locally told me I'm going to be in a real LS swap running out the door $15K.
Yeah, so
I'm in the same money. I don't see. It used to be easy to swap, man. You grabbed an SR20 from wherever and you
just
put it in your
350
Nissan.
Chevy with a carburetor on it, and you're good to go.
Christ, redneck.
You know what? Though
PBR.
we could have that shit done in a weekend, though.
Yeah, we could.
Because there would be no wiring.
The car would be devoid of all technology. It'd be fantastic.
It'd be like a dirt track car.
It would be a dirt track car.
You know what? I mean, this is.
Fire it away, Lance. I'm open to ideas. I mean, this is why I wanted to do this segment because my mind's blown.
Only because this is what I would probably want to do, just to be really.
He's going to say put on 1.4 out of a Fiat in it.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not.
No, I think
he's going.
I think he's going H-Day on me.
H-Day? What do you think?
Honda.
No, you're way off.
Really?
And I really just thought about this because this motor is pretty bulletproof. The same motor they put in the Nobles, the Volvo motor out of the SUVs.
Volvos.
The twin turbo
V6.
V6.
Jesus
Yeah, twin
Christ.
turbo V6. Dude, it makes an insane amount of horsepower.
It's also the same motor they put into the V6 Fords.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Contours or whatever the hell it was.
But holy. Okay.
The twin turbo makes over 600 horsepower.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
You'd literally have almost a supercar at that point.
But the problem is, what tranny do we bolt it to? How does it fit? Exhaust. I mean, that's a great
you
swap.
would definitely have to swap the tranny because your tranny's not going to handle.
Well,
the horsepower
no, and I don't know what.
Out.
I mean, I don't have any idea what.
It's not a real heavy engine. I just looked. It's like it's something
that's
just
so
slightly
off
over
the wall retarded.
Just go find yourself someone to make you an adapter plate and throw an STI tranny behind it.
And the thing about Volvos, their engines
you can run them rear wheel
pretty
drive.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they're good to over 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, no, that's
what's that?
The stock STI trannies.
Well, okay, okay, and now let's think even more ridiculous. So there is one Prime Motoring has an RB25, a Tesla all-wheel drive BRZ, full Skyline drivetrain swap.
It probably cost them $100,000 to build.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it did. It's a shop car. You know how that stuff is.
It's a write-off.
It's rocket bunnied and all that stuff to make it all work. But that stuff that's almost more plausible than a straight motor swap because they just said the hell with the whole Subaru
They cut everything
drivetrain.
out.
Yeah. And that's kind of like,
why not?
Just cut the body at the pinch welds and drop it down on something else? Because, I mean, that's what it's
Why
looking
not
like.
look into
the V6s? I haven't found a V6 that I like.
That's what I was just talking about.
I mean, that Volvo is...
That's a V6.
Yeah.
I mean...
The biggest issue with that is...
Or they're inline 5. They're 5.
Oh, Jesus.
T.
Why not just
Run
find
out
a
of
wrecked
room.
WRX
And try to make it work.
and put an EJ2, an FA20 DIT motor in it and call it a day?
That would probably be the
A guy has done that.
You could
easiest.
reuse your plumbing that you have, your turbo mounting and everything else could be the same.
It's not that cut and dry.
We're going to have to make manifolds, but
Well, it's close.
you got to move the turbo.
A guy's already done it, and with varying results. He fought a lot of the computer bugs and all that stuff too, because it's just not as simple as swapping sensors over and it works.
But I'm wondering if you could get yourself a hold of a wrecked one, grab the subframe, grab the drivetrain. Obviously, the turbo is going to be an issue, but you can move around.
In
you can
all
work
honesty, I
around
don't think
that.
you need to swap the subframe because I think the motor mounts
It's
are
probably
the same damn motor mounts.
It's probably the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just because I always like to double check. The motor that's in the Noble is
When does he double check anything before he does it?
It's
He's
not.
being all official today.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not a V6. That's a twin turbocharged V8.
Oh,
Well, the
Jesus
older one's a
Christ.
V6.
Yeah.
The new one's a V8.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old one was the
M-
Contour motor. The new one's
Yeah.
that actual Volvo V8.
Yeah, that's in the V9, V6,
V90,
whatever, the
yeah,
big
it's
SUV.
It's a
something.
4.4 liter
Yeah.
Volvo Yamaha. It's the
Yeah, it's
V8 44 4S.
yeah.
They're
something.
doing like
twin
what
turbo.
what Ford
what
did
Ford
with the
did.
SHO.
Yeah.
They
well,
had
Ford
Yamaha
and
building
Volvo
a real
are
motor.
like
Well,
thick as thieves.
First
so.
off, I've never look at the SHO motor that was in it that had the
Yeah.
Yamaha. That engine never freaking died. I mean, and it was
They
a
really
powerhouse.
did run for a Taurus.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I would love to find a small V6.
Well, they had
and be
200.
able
They
to do
weren't
the
super
V6.
horsepower, but you could
No,
make a
but-
lot of power.
yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
you
can make
could,
power with
but they
them.
didn't. They handled everything very, very well.
Well, even the Contour SVTs, I mean, took boost very well for that V6 as well. That's what I'm
Shit, the
saying.
old 3.8s from frickin' Pontiac took
Dude,
boost
it
like
would,
a beast.
I'm just telling you, it would look sick under the hood.
Yeah, I know.
But you have,
And it
you
would
think
fit.
you think
It's-
Japanese wiring
Well,
is
that's
bad?
what I'm saying. So now we're into the trying to figure out
The Swedes.
Volvo
But
shit.
it's a small V8, and
but
it
nobody works on
cranks-
that stuff. Think
it
about
cranks
it.
crazy
That's
RPM.
worse than trying to build a Hyundai around here.
Yeah.
You've got no support.
Look
And
at
that's my
DJ's problem with his
Hyundai. Yeah. And that's my problem with the rotary too. There's
Dri-
one or two shops a couple hours away.
dry weight of the entire engine. Entire engine.
210 pounds.
420. That's a realistic number.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the
Why don't
dry
you
weight
just-
of the whole
Why don't we
engine.
just go find yourself a wrecked Audi RS4 and just put that motor in it and call it a day? I mean,
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks on the V-dub life. Check
Yeah,
engine
that-
lights
that-
abound.
It's a
We can put a
Volvo
VR6
motor, but it
in
was
it.
actually developed by Yamaha. The
See,
whole
now
motor.
that intrigues me because I love that motor. If there was a way. Naturally aspirated.
there is a way, but the
Cam-
Germans won't let you.
Cam to hell. Like,
You could call it the axis of evil because it has both Japanese
it
and
would be
German
so,
under
it would be so awful. The FRS 666. 6 speeds, 6 cylinders, and 6 pounds of boost.
You could be like that guy Carlisle with the Opel dressed up as a Third Reich.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Kindred spirit. No, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. So there's options out there, but it's are they cost effective for what
Nothing's
you're gonna
cost
do?
effective.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it used to be you could.
No,
throw
it's
in-
cost effective. Sell it and buy another car.
It's an option. It is an option at this
But
point.
as far as this conversation goes, I don't know if anything cost effective.
That's what I mean. The rotary swap is ideal. I
or
love
an
the idea of it.
S2000 motor or
Well, I
K
thought
swap.
about that K swap and FC because we have enough Honda guys locally.
and
But
God knows there's enough wrecked ones around.
yeah, I can't bring myself to put a goddamn
1,700
Honda
bucks
motor
for the
in it.
engine on eBay.
Oh Jesus, he's already eBaying shit.
I'm just looking, man.
$1,700 for the engine, $14,000.
Now
to
I
get
did
to
find
run.
I thought I found a 3-rotor for sale.
1,800. I mean, you find these engines all day long.
Maybe I have to look.
You're talking
into
about
it.
small V6s.
Yeah.
How about
It's
the?
V8. This
That's
is the
a
V8.
V8.
Well,
This
he
is-
was. I know, but he was talking about the small V6s earlier. What about some of the Honda engines?
The F series stuff from the
Yeah.
Accords. Guys have been posting about that on the forums, but nobody's really
Done
hasn't-
much with
Yeah,
them,
it hasn't
yeah.
taken flight. I know there's that S2K that swapped to a 6 with boost.
Yeah,
Everybody thinks it's got an LS in it, somewhat locally.
I'll be curious to
just-
see what that actually puts out. Once
I was
it's-
hoping to stay Toyota loyal, and I was looking at 1UZs or 3UZs.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
problem
forgot about
is
those.
cost effective and do you get anything out of it? I mean, a good 3UZ is 300 horse without a full rebuild and boost.
You want to boost though. You don't want to do NA.
I'm open. I really would like to stay boosted, but
I'm just thinking of ITBs.
I know
at $9,000.
And if the Synergy motor was a real thing that people could buy, because June did that. There's a place in New Zealand, I believe, that has one of those motors in their FRS as well.
what was the?
God, that'd be
I'll tell you
awesome.
right now, somebody's going to listen to this and take my idea with the Volvo engine.
Okay, well,
We'll see if it's on Jalopnik next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, if it's-
I'll check the forums.
Next week? You think it'll take that long?
I'll check the forums tomorrow. No, I mean, the other option is to deal with the FA problems and build it.
Which you're gonna have to spend $15,000 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make it reliable over 300, and I'm still gonna have a shit transmission.
So you're gonna
then
spend
I'm being
another
a
$5,000 in that,
T56,
or T56. Yeah.
which actually I saw. This is a side note.
They're probably not that bad.
Camaro transmissions.
Yeah.
There's a sequential shifter for that.
Oh yeah.
That bolts
the
in.
bolts in the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is already like.
A lot of the drag guys are
Yeah,
using those. It's
that-
kind of like a Pro Street, but not like a slap shifter, but it's kind of close.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't know, but that intrigued me because it's a manual trans with an electronic.
Yeah.
And they made those for Volkswagens. I was looking at them for my Volkswagen when I had it. So that would be an awesome transmission solution and would solve all the problems with the transmission. It's a bone stock tranny that'll handle the power, torque all day.
And they put them in everything.
And they already make a kit to do it.
Well, I think
Full Blown has a kit for it.
We've all decided here that there's no other way to do a motor swap without doing a tranny swap. Anything you do, you're going to have to do the tranny.
Yeah, without a doubt, you're going to have to do the tranny. There's
nothing you put
options.
in it that has horsepower, your stock tranny is
No,
going
the
to
stock
hold.
tranny is going to shit out. I thought maybe I could save it with a rotary because of the low torque numbers that it would survive. Because you got to rev it, but I think under boost, when I hit it with that, it's going to grenade.
That's
too.
where that's where rotaries get their torque. Is when the boost hits.
Yeah, once boost hits, because you're going to have to run an.
And you're going to be at 8,500 when it hits. So the transmission's going to be like, fuck you.
Because I'm looking at turbos for him, and I'm looking at an S8840 turbo probably from Borg. I mean, to be a good number. I mean, a good solid 350 to 400 is going to take a fairly large turbo.
And I would almost rather see you do something retro. Something with ITBs.
I know. And my problem is...
Does that get you around some of the ECU issues? Because they're not really...
No, because I still need crank signal for the power steering and stuff.
That's
I'm still going to
true,
have to play that game. That's what I mean.
Unless you eliminate it with another type of power steering.
Yes. And I thought about just doing ITBs and stuff on this motor and trying to build a high revving motor, but it's still going to be a gutless 250 horsepower.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to fight, because now that I've been boosted...
Yeah, you want that extra power.
Yeah, because the car's not light enough. If the car was 1,800 pounds, I could do naturally aspirated all day. The car's not light enough to do it naturally aspirated, and I can't get enough weight out of it to make it fun.
You've already got a lot of weight out of it. So.
There's nothing left. I mean, there's no sound deadening in the car or anything like it used to be where you could get 1,800 pounds by taking out the sound deadening.
Right.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. I gotta come up with a plan for this winter, and we got to figure something out. But if you're interested, it is for sale at the current moment because I haven't started doing any hacking on it yet.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
You could also import a classic motor.
What classic motor? Where are we going down this rabbit hole?
A Cosmos or whatever the hell it was.
The motor was in the Lancia 38 Group B car.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Because he doesn't have enough trouble as it is now.
Yeah.
I can see him walking down to local Advanced Auto Part. I need a throttle
They
cable.
only had like 300 horsepower, quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Group B, 300 horsepower.
Yeah. And 550 foot-pounds of torque.
Just think of the massive fireballs you would get to shoot, though.
I could do that with a 2J and anti-lag.
Not to mention you have to worry about boosts coming out of two different sources known as supercharger and turbocharger.
You could always put a Peugeot motor in.
Okay, Lance, you're banned.
Oh, yeah.
You're banned. No more thoughts
Why
from
don't you
Lance
say Renault
today.
and call it a day?
I know.
Oh, yeah. Put an old Alpha motor in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
On
there's
that
the
note,
trials of and tribulations of Keith.
feel free to suggest some things on the Facebook page because I'm digging for ideas.
And vote for the Volvo motor because you all know
No.
that would be cool.
God. I'm sure Adam's listening and he's freaking out now because we're talking about Volvo swaps.
Dude, I'm telling you, that would be a killer swap.
It'd be different.
Twin turbocharged V8.
It would be killer, all right. He would hang
yeah.
himself with a wiring harness in
I'm
his
sure
garage.
I would.
It would probably be the only thing in the car that worked.
Speaking of working, news.
Oh, yeah, race news this week. Matt, take
There's
it away.
tons of shit.
Yeah.
So,
I don't even know where to start, really. I mean,
I'll start with the most boring one.
No, let's start with the trucks.
No way. We gotta
gotta
end on a high note.
gotta end
That was
on
the
a high
greatest thing I've seen.
Yeah. So on the boring note, the Italian Grand Prix was this weekend. Yeah. Everybody's like snooze fest. Typical result.
The what? The who?
Yeah, typical result. Mercedes, Ferrari, whatever, yada yada yada. The biggest news, actually, the two biggest things that come out of that race weren't exactly race related. They kind of were, but Felipe Massa is hanging it up. He is retiring. He's done
Yeah.
with Formula One.
With Formula One. He said he's
He's
retiring
had the
from
shits
Formula
on-
One. Yeah.
Basically, everybody that's not in Mercedes has had the shits
Right.
with Formula One.
So I honestly think he's probably going to end up in some type of road course. He's real
I
close.
think he'll
with
end
the
up
guy-
in German touring cars. That seems to be the hot spot for
Yeah,
retired Formula
or
guys.
he's real close with Ferrari, so he may go to like
That's
Ricci
true.
or
Yeah, he
somebody
could go
like
to
that.
Ricci or somebody.
And the other driver news is Button is taking a sabbatical.
Yeah, whatever
Jensen?
that means.
Jensen Button's taking a sabbatical. He's not going to be racing next year.
He's got the shits of it too, I think.
Yeah, I don't
I think
know.
he's going to explore other options and try not to
Oh, and
hang
you've got-
himself.
He's still under contract for 2 more years. He's going to be an ambassador next year, whatever the
well,
hell
you
does
got
that
three
mean?
cars that always do the winning. I mean,
Well, it's
Yeah, it
mainly
does get
2
old.
cars at this point.
Yeah.
and they're all on the same team.
Yeah, Ferrari hasn't won. I think they won 1 this year, and that's only because the other 2 knocked each other out.
Yeah.
But other than that,
So how manufacturers, Mercedes has got to be way ahead of
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, they got
I
it
mean,
locked up, don't they?
they
Manufacturer's
got the
title?
manufacturer's titles pretty much done. The biggest race for that right now is between Red Bull and Ferrari for second and third. And believe it or not, Force India is starting to creep up in there too.
because they're getting points.
And Red Bull is kind of languishing in between, but yeah, manufacturing race pretty much wrapped
It's like
up.
when you watch Formula One, just automatically assume that you're not watching to see first and second.
No, it's not.
You're
worth it.
looking.
You're
to-
looking for the race in the field somewhere.
Yeah, because the real race isn't with those
You're
guys
looking-
because they're so fast compared to.
I watch to see which scrub is going to do something special.
what did you-
That's kind of
Which
my
one's gonna hit
mentality when I
Hamilton?
turn it
What,
on.
what-
Yeah.
what was the time gap you said that Mercedes has over the other cars? Like 20 some odd seconds or faster than the rest of the field?
when they do qualifying, because they do knockout qualifying. So
Yeah, the spread's ridiculous.
yeah, so they go out. They have 3 designated tire compounds they can run. So everybody who go out, usually in session 2, because they got a throwaway set. Session 3 they have a throwaway set. So that's the last qualifying session. They'll go out, and Ferrari will throw up a great time. I think it was like a 1:22.9 was their best time of the weekend. Mercedes goes out on their super soft tires and does like a 1:20, and then parks in the last qualifying session. They just park. They're like, we're good.
Yeah.
They know they're on the softest tire for that track that weekend, and they're easily 3 to 4 seconds faster than the next car. And in Formula One, that's like winning by like 50 laps
Yeah,
in a
that's
NASCAR
ridiculous.
race. Because most of the top, like after Mercedes goes, the next 15 cars are separated by 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. So it literally is they're just walking away with it. So
Yeah.
it's like, what's the point?
Pretty easy when you can just
Yeah,
bend
Formula
the rules to your will. Though.
Right.
boring.
And they've, not to mention, when they first started developing these new turbo V6 engines or whatever the hell they are, they've had them, they were a year ahead in development than everyone else.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now where everybody else is basically just saying, we're done. We're worrying
done,
about
yeah,
next year.
folding it.
So there's no point in doing any more development this year. And that's the bane of Formula One. They don't let you do any testing. Don't let you do any of this other bullshit that every other racing league can do. And they wonder why one team that just happened to have the best engine at the beginning of the season wins the entire thing, because they don't let anybody doing the developmental testing. So if you can't build any new shit, what's
How do
the
you
point?
compete? Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way.
No.
Well, NASCAR went that way with no testing.
Thank
too.
you, Bernie Ecclestone.
So, speaking of Bernie's, interesting sidebar here. So, a lot of people feel like Bernie sold out when he endorsed Hillary. Guess who else sold out? Big Chief sold out. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. He sold out.
racing is not a crime.
Yeah, street racers. Take it back to the track, you pro mod pussies. Blah, 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 blah.
Because he used straight racing to get somewhere in
Guess
life.
who's running a pro mod? Guess who was at the U.S. Nationals trying to qualify for the U.S. Nationals in his pro mod? And guess who has an anti-street racing TV ad now for the NHRA? That's right, your hero, Street Outlaw legend, Big Chief.
Should we call him the big sellout?
Yeah, dude, seriously. Look, I get it. Street racing is stupid. You shouldn't do it. We had an accident a couple weeks ago around here because of some knucklehead street racing. It is dumb. However, don't pretend to be a hardcore street racer and then sell out 6 months later. After the NHRA told you, oh, we're going to take your license away if you keep doing the show and you keep street racing. And I believe all their responses were, we don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck off. We'll go
Kiss
do what
my
we want to
ass.
do. Yeah.
I'm an outlaw.
Yeah, I'm an
bullshit.
outlaw. Guess who's trying to qualify for NHRA events in Pro Mod now? The same guy. The guy who claims he's from the streets in the
Well, that shit's so
405.
fake in the first place. I mean,
Well, that's what it was. Look
a
here.
TV
okay,
show, man. It's
ready,
fantasy land.
Ready for a conspiracy theory? This is my crazy conspiracy theory for the day. So the show, right? NHRA has been struggling for years to get people to show up. Drag racing sucks. It's boring. They pay for this show to be made with these morons that'll go out and run their pro mods on a street, as they call it.
Right.
You know, track down all these chuckleheads, build up all this TV publicity, and get all these people watching the show because, oh, we're street racers and we watch street racers street race. And then,
meanwhile, the street's more prepped than most racetracks.
4 seasons in,
Why is it so sticky?
Yeah. Why is the road completely black on the concrete?
they go 4 or 5 seasons, then poof. They're all at NHRA events trying to qualify.
No,
They're
Big Daddy's
doing
been- Big
no
Daddy-
prep
Big
races.
Daddy
They're
Dave's
doing
been
prep
doing that.
races. Yeah.
So he wrecked his damn
Yeah,
car.
that's what I'm saying. Well, that was a no prep race. They
Yeah,
claimed.
no prep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
But-
prep. They put a little bit of concrete dust
Yeah.
and say, "Look, it's dusty. It's dusty."
Yeah. So now they're at NHRA events trying to be NHRA racers and running ads that are telling you to take it off the streets and go to these track nights or drag nights or whatever they're calling them.
Talk about a bait and switch.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a badass, but don't race like me.
I hope you're feeling the burn, all you street racing fans, because you got lied to.
About the only guys that I think actually even street race are Asian and farm truck.
Yeah, they were about the only ones that really race.
I think they're on the shows. They're the only.
At
ones
least
that
they're
even
trolling.
street-
Nobody
Yeah.
else trolls. They show up with their race haulers on a prepped road with
Yep.
lights. The other thing
And
that-
ambulances.
Yeah,
and ambulances and police officers and,
Yeah, fire
and floodlighting
crews
all the
and,
way
yeah.
down the
Helicopters.
street.
I mean,
The other thing that happened this weekend that is a phenomenal moment in racing history was the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Race.
that was phenomenal.
It was the greatest thing I think I've seen in a long time.
I had literally, I did the screen and
screen thing?
So I had the
I
I had the
flipped-
truck series in one corner, and I had the Indy race in another
I
corner.
flipped back just in time to see the shit show.
to see the WWE.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. So Cole Cluster was leading. He needs to win to get into the chase because they're doing this, the chase thing.
The typical
John
stupid
Hunter
NASCAR.
Nemechek has already won a race. They're at Moseport. They coming down to the final corner.
This is
onto the
Nemechek's
straightaway.
son or grandson?
Somehow he's related
Yeah.
to Joe.
Joe.
So the bump and run. You tap him in the ass, get him loose in the corner, and you run inside him. He gave him 2 bumps and tried the run. The run didn't work. They got door to door, and he said, well, fuck it. I know. I'll put him in the fence. The problem is at Moseport, the fence is 100 yards from the track. So they took it the whole way to the wall, dirt burning, door to door.
It was Lincoln on a road course.
It was some late model bullshit. I mean,
It was entertaining as hell.
door to door. So he ends up winning. Nemechek wins by like a half of a fender because he's
Yeah,
got
it
him
wasn't
pinned
much.
against the outside wall.
The other guy can't move. He's literally
Yeah.
crammed into the wall, like trying
Yeah,
to
they're
turn.
they're driving through the grass, pinned against the wall. There's trucks everywhere, and the guy in the flag stand, literally, the guy who's waving the flag and his partner, the other guy, the other dude is like looking under the flag stand behind them to see who won the race
Yeah,
because
'cause-
the trucks are behind them.
And the other,
They're
I
that
believe,
far off the track.
and there was somebody. I don't know if it was a camera person or somebody, but all I saw was them completely go down to the floor of the
Yeah.
flag stand and duck.
Yeah.
because they
So-
weren't sure what was going on.
So then, after it's all over, Nemechek comes out to get his victory, the
he wanted-
checkered flag,
he wanted
right?
the
Because they
flag.
give you the checkered flag, you get down in your truck, you do a lap.
Yeah,
He's
that's when
standing
it
there,
got exciting.
Yeah, he's standing there in his helmet, Hans device, the whole deal,
ready to go.
And all of a sudden, they're showing him, right? They're showing this angle, and from the right comes in with the RKO. I mean, RKO. Custer just like flying RKO clotheslines.
What did Goldberg used to call it, the spear?
It was some phenomenal WWE bullshit, which plays right into my NASCAR is WWE for rednecks. It was amazing. Dude, flying clothesline. Then there's a...
I haven't seen a tackle that good in the NFL yet.
Yeah, preseason has nothing on these dudes. So then there's like officials trying to get involved and crew members, and there's pointing and the I'm going to kill you point. They're doing that.
Oh yeah, the one guy tried to get over the K rail
Yeah,
and try
it
to
was
grab the
awesome.
crew chief.
It was awesome. But then there's like the Silverado pulls up with the fire guys in it, and they jump out to help break it up. Like it was great. It was great American NASCAR TV.
Yeah.
I had to crack a second PBR.
Yeah, I was flipping back and forth, and I was just like,
I can't
"Wait,
afford that.
what's
That stuff's
going
too
on
expensive.
now?" He needs a natty bow.
It was like wild turkey on TV.
And the best part was, how about the camera angle that goes right from the fight to the dude in the stands with no shirt on,
Oh,
a
yeah.
do-rag, going, yeah, holding
And
the beer up in his
Canadian
hand.
as shit. Like just the guy
Yeah.
you picture at a hockey game outside.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. He straight up put his American
That's
redneck
what.
on
That's
his
what.
back.
No,
That's
he
what
drove
hockey
straight-
fans do in the summer.
He drove
man.
straight from a CFL game.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, straight
But yeah,
up redneck
that was
throwdown.
awesome. It was fantastic. The other NASCAR news was they did Darlington, the 600 with the throwback paint.
I actually
schemes
watched that
and stuff.
entire race.
Yeah, I watched a whole race. In
it was
NASCAR.
a good race.
The cars look good. That was
That was the only thing. The
the
cars look good.
throwbacks are awesome. The Hooters car.
'Cause they're all the cars that I grew up in. I mean,
yeah,
I
the
come
Tide
from
Ride
a-
was out there.
I come from a NASCAR family. I had family that worked in NASCAR. I mean, and it's just seeing all the teams
old-
and stuff
old
that
school-
we used to hang out with in the pits.
Stewart's team had the damn Coca-Cola pants on, the
Yep.
like plaid checkered Coca-Cola
Oh, that's
pants from back in
badass,
the
yeah.
70s
They
or
all,
60s.
Well, how about the
whatever.
one, the
I didn't
Woods,
see
the
that.
Woods brothers, the
whole
brothers
crew?
that ran Pearson's car, which is who family members my grandfather helped do some work for. They were actually there in their throwback uniforms. It was actually
old
his
school pit
uniform.
crew, yeah.
He's like,
They-
I had a new one I found in the attic or something.
They
Yeah.
taped the freaking Wrigley spearmint sticks to the roll cage
Yep.
because Pearson used to do that.
He used to do
He
that.
wanted one stick for every 100 laps
Yep.
and one for victory lane if he won.
He said, I like to keep my breath nice and fresh.
Yeah, he was
This is the same guy
he
who
was
used to
smoking cigarettes
he used to
inside the
smoke.
car.
He used to smoke when he was racing. So,
But the petty guys all had mustaches and the throwback hats
handlebar,
and the big hair.
yeah.
And it
And
was, it's-
Petty was there, and he still looks just like he did in
yeah,
1970.
he hasn't
He
changed
doesn't
at all.
age.
He's the same.
But yeah, it's cool because they dress up the camera crew, they dress up the
Did you
television
see,
crew.
Did you see Rutledge in his horrible
Yeah.
suit, but he had like 2015 Nike shoes
Yeah, I
on?
know,
It's like- he couldn't
yeah.
even put on like some old school.
They
like,
missed a little
boots.
bit there.
I mean,
it's cool. The racers get into it. They're
Jarrett-
wearing
Ned Jarrett was
do-rags
there,
and
and-
do-rag, like puffed out hair.
Oh,
and,
yeah, it was
and
great.
Mustaches. Their wives dress up in 70s gear. I mean, it's pretty entertaining to watch. It's pretty cool. And there's throwbacks from all
The
eras.
racing wasn't that great though.
It's
I thought
Darlington.
it wasn't a lot of
It's a bunch
crashes.
of guys hammering around the top, hoping they don't bounce off the wall. I mean, that's kind of what Darlington
I had to
is.
laugh at the one comment Smoke had when he was out running around the track, and he's like, "It's kind of weird following two cars that I used to drive."
Yeah, right? There were two of his old paint schemes
The Home
there.
Depot were from his rookie year, and then
Shit. I'm brain farting.
was it the
Not-
one
not
that
the
Jimmy?
that was awesome.
Not the
I
old
lost
Spice
that
one.
thought.
No, wasn't
No.
it one Jimmy Johnson was running? No, he was.
No,
running-
that was a Dale Earnhardt.
That was the Wrangler colors.
That was
yeah.
the Earnhardt Wrangler colors. I lost.
I can't remember. The Depot one's the only one I remember.
and the Valvoline car looked phenomenal. I didn't see it. Menard's car. I didn't see it
yeah.
till close to the end when he got wrecked. That
Yep.
car looked badass.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a bunch of cool old cars. Old paint schemes and stuff. Just
I was
neat stuff.
surprised when I saw the Kawicki car. I was like, oh my god, they.
Well,
still
and they
have-
even took the T off,
For
so they
Thunderbird.
painted it as a Thunderbird.
Yep.
Took the T off because he always had Underbird on it.
Yep.
And ran it that way.
And
It
the
was
reason
cool.
that started was because the old ones had Thunderbird on the front, and that left side corner he always rubbed on people because the Thunderbirds back then had like that point
pointy
in the
nose.
front.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they always rubbed that off. So eventually they said, "We're just going to rub it off anyway." So they just left it.
And he was
And he
was
ran
always,
with it.
Yeah, he was always calling himself an underdog.
Yeah.
So they called it the Underbird.
And I was really, I don't want to say disappointed, but I would have really liked to see the Bill Elliott Coors package.
I
out
would
there.
have so yeah.
Well,
They had the Mac Tonight one out,
Yeah.
but I still I
That's
don't,
such an iconic paint job. I
the
mean,
number
it should have
9,
been
the
there.
red and white and blue.
well, the
and-
ones I liked were the ones that you didn't think much of, like the old 13 car, the black, gold, red striped 13 car.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they did have the Wrangler car. That was one I always thought.
Well,
the
it
yellow,
wasn't. It
blue
was the
Wrangler.
Lowe's car, but yeah.
Yeah.
The other one was the JD McDuffie. Somebody did a JD McDuffie
Yeah.
tribute car, which was it's just a clean car. It's like a
No
copper
Marlboro?
bronze.
Can't do that
I
anymore.
know.
Which sucks because
Yeah.
all the old cars were good.
There
like
was
that.
there was a lot of
The
this-
Bush car was fantastic.
Yeah, the
that
Bush-
was
yeah,
that was
Harvick's
straight.
car looked good.
That was straight '80s NASCAR,
Yeah, it did.
minus
there
the
was-
carbon fiber.
There was a lot of cool looking paint jobs. Even Martin Truex's car looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an old schoolish purple blue kind of retro vibe.
I was upset that they didn't have the skull car there.
Yeah, I was kind of looking for somebody to have done a
the
skull
freaking
bandit
skull
theme.
bandit. I mean, nothing.
The
fit-
green and white.
Yeah.
I just that one, and I guess probably because it's a tobacco product, they don't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
play that game.
but they can have beer, which
Yeah, well, NASCAR
Well, you could
America.
just use our current sponsors and just paint them in.
Well, that's what they
the
did.
That's what they
used
did.
The,
They did.
They used the theme and then throw the
So,
current
I mean,
sponsor
people
on.
would know.
I mean, there was very few cars that had the Hooters one was
The cat car looked good.
yeah the cat
The
car
cat car, Burton.
had the old logo
Yeah,
on it and
yep.
everything. Yeah.
There was a lot of cool looking cars.
And how about what I know I texted you? NASCAR needs to go back to painting the
Gold
wheels. again.
wheels?
Gold wheels look phenomenal
The
on a
gold
race
wheels
car.
look good on that
Remember
thing.
when the Red Bull ran when they were doing
red and-
NASCAR?
they had
had
two different colors.
Two different
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
red
yellow
on
in
the
the
back.
front and red, or was
It was red on the back and silver in the front,
Yeah,
and then the
something
one
like
car
that,
ran
yeah.
like blue in the front, and red on the back.
yeah.
It was where the Bull was. They had
Yeah.
red rims.
They had to
yeah.
match the
Yeah.
bull.
And now they're all black wheels. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
blah.
a lot
Or
of guys
silver.
used to do
Or
chrome
silver,
wheels.
yeah.
I don't. It was neat to see the old paint jobs, and they didn't have
liked
to be
it.
that old. The stuff from the '80s was cool. The Hooters car, the Tide car.
Yeah, I believe the time
Interstate
frame
car.
was 1974 to 1984.
Yeah,
something like
they had a
that.
window. But yeah, it was a bunch of old cars, like
I like seeing all the old
legendary
drivers
cars.
there. That was
Even
cool.
the petty car looked good. It hasn't changed much, but it was
Well,
different enough that the old one looks
That
different.
Dayglow orange, though.
Yeah, I
Oh
know,
my
right?
God, is that
petty
bright.
orange and petty blue.
Well, I liked Smoke's helmet too, the old Davey
The old
Allison
wore-out helmet?
because he always wore these bitched up helmets whenever he raced.
So it
and
was painted like it was bitched up. And
Yeah, it had
through.
like
and then
a
Allison
rub through.
signed it.
Yeah, his
and
dad signed
apparently
it, yep.
Smoke sells all of his helmets to charity.
Charity.
He said, "Nope, this one's staying because he got it signed."
Yeah,
Like,
Davey, or was it Bobby signed it?
Yeah,
Davey,
Bobby signed
Davey's
it.
one that passed
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
But it was funny too because did you see they interviewed Smoke after his crash? Did you see the interview?
Oh yeah.
They said, or his motor blew up, and he had an incident earlier in the race with Brian Scott, I think.
Yeah, push something up
Yeah,
into the
yeah, and
for
he
the
said,
corner.
so they said, so what happened out there with Brian Scott?
Oh,
and I believe
you're
his
right.
exact response was, "You saw it." And he just walked away.
That's what he said. You saw it. He wrecked.
Yeah, that was the end of the interview. That was the end of the interview.
And they're like, okay, well, thanks, Tony.
I love that guy. That guy's awesome.
Because basically what happened was the guy came underneath him and tried
Yeah.
to cut the air, and Tony waited, let him get in front of him, and Tony goes, "What I'm just went." You can literally see the in-car. He just looks at him, looks in his mirror, takes the steering wheel, and just goes, bonk, right, and he goes down into the infield, and he just shifts up and goes.
Yeah, it was a typical NASCAR moment.
And it was a
good.
racing incident,
Yeah, it was a
according to
racing
NASCAR.
incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, "I know Robin's racing, but I mean,
That was good. It's an oval. It's a go left, but
It's not a very big. Was a mile and a half?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
Well,
it's not- they're not-
Darlington's one of
Darlington's
those
not the-
It's
weird
old
tracks.
track. That's an
It's
old
It's
track.
weird to drive.
That's one of the
It's-
originals.
Yeah.
It's probably why they had the throwback racer.
The
'cause
Coke, well, it's the Coke 600.
The Coke
It's-
600, yeah. But they call it the Southern
500.
or
Well, no,
something.
Coke 600 is the one at Daytona that's
Right.
not Daytona, and then
Yeah.
this is the Southern
Same
500.
exact race, just
Yeah.
different name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
All right, so I mean it was decent racing.
Do we want to play a game now?
I guess we're gonna attempt something here. We're gonna do a word association game, okay? And basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna
gonna-
throw out a car.
And everybody else has to blurt out the first thought they have when they hear that car. And then once we hear that blurt out and we all stare at the one random asshole that said something real weird, we'll probably make them explain their thought.
So we're all going to be staring at Lance.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So we'll kind of just, we don't have any particular order. We haven't prepped this.
And the
Nobody's
rule is
written
you
down
have 5
cars or
seconds to-
nothing.
you have 5
just
seconds.
just blurt it
You have
out.
5 seconds after the person says the car name to blurt out whatever comes on your mind.
So who wants to start?
I don't care.
I'll start. I got one for you.
Pick a car.
Okay. Asshole.
I didn't get a chance to say it.
Oh, I'm just talking about you.
There we go. Okay, so Pontiac.
Dead.
70s drug dealer.
That kind of makes sense. I can't argue with either of those answers.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of is they're dead in the United States.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the one car brand I never thought I would see go.
Oh no, I was pretty sure they were doomed.
I'm surprised Buick's
Buick.
still around.
Well, Buick's held
So
up.
it's huge in China.
Yeah,
That's
Buick's
the
held
reason
on
that
because
exists.
so they can really get a shirt that
overseas.
says I'm
Yeah.
huge
I mean,
in China.
Yeah, really.
No, Buick overseas is like Toyota. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like crazy how Buick holds on over there.
You already got sidetracked from the
Yeah.
game we were playing. You had to talk.
Nobody
Nobody asked you to explain your answer. No one.
I'm fucking
one.
explaining it.
Yeah, no one's listening.
I got one. This will make my wife
Fire
happy.
away.
Subaru Forester.
Soccer mom.
Vagina.
There you go, wife.
Don't you drive it, Matt?
And I like vagina, so I'm all good. Tell my wife all the time I'm a lesbian.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Audi A4.
Twat.
Pretentious prick.
A4. Not the S4.
Either one. Still works.
Pretentious
Would you
prick?
rather me had said check engine light? I mean, that's another option.
That's another.
That's everything German.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
fog light in the rear?
Yeah.
In the spirit of what just rode by, Harley.
Man.
White trash motherfuckers.
I like his answer better.
Manly man.
Yeah,
Man.
sure. With your tassels and your
Fuck, I'm going
ponytail.
to go again.
I'm gonna go-
Ruckus.
Douchebags.
Fags.
Look, he has no other answer. I stole his.
Fags. Yeah. I don't have a ruckus,
As a
so I'm
former,
good.
as a former ruckus owner, I'm going hard with douchebags.
Douchebag does sum it up very well.
And any of us that own them that are real about life understand that we are because we ride them.
Yes. I was
We
gonna
still
s-
get to make fun of Harley
I'll go and be
guys.
scene kids.
Yeah, that's
Scene
true.
kid. And I own a somewhat ruckusy type vehicle. It's not a ruckus. It's worse than a ruckus.
Yes,
It's Chinese.
It's the full-on knockoff,
Yes. It's the
as opposed to
it's
all the knockoff
Folex
parts
of-
we bolt onto ours.
oh, y'all got a real ruckus. You run the same Chinese motor I am.
All right, let's see here. I got to change
It's
this up
Matt's
a little
turn.
bit. Oh, is it?
I already did the Subaru one.
Yeah, but
It's
we
your
just
turn
did
again.
too.
Oh, what can I come up with here? Volvo station wagon.
Hot Mom.
Ooh. No, that's it. My answer is ooh. I got a weak spot for Volvo wagons, man. I do.
It's usually hot soccer moms. Let's see.
Okay. Sub 93.
Architect.
I was gonna say an engineer.
Yeah.
Vape genie.
Boring.
Someone who plays Magic the Gathering.
Oh, yes. Well played, sir. Well played. All right. Corvette.
White man's Ferrari.
Viagra.
Viagra or Geritol was the acceptable answer.
That's like the old commercial. My dick don't work, Maz.
Might have been a little racist on that one.
Let's see here. Geo Metro.
Sadness.
Best car ever. You can park them on snowbanks. I know. I used to have one, and I did it.
And that story is why I said sadness.
3 cylinders of fury. I had the,
Highlight of your life.
I had the freaking Roadster.
the convertible. Oh,
That's like a whole new level of
yeah,
sad.
that's extra sadness.
It's like I actually paid extra for the convertible version of this
That's
car.
the McDouble of sadness.
And so, like, the roof go down, and you feel like you want to be cool, then you realize people are looking at you.
It's like, do I know to put the roof down on this thing?
It's like the coolest level just totally dies inside of you, man.
Now I have to ask you: did yours have the same issue with every other Geo Metro? Do you have duct tape on the top somewhere?
No, mine was actually a pristine condition.
That's
He was constantly
fucking
rolling with
rarity.
it down, looking good.
Yeah, I remember like taking
vanilla.
a road trip in that thing to go snowboarding, and we couldn't fit the snowboards inside the car, so
So
we put the
top down?
roof down. And I mean, it was like middle of freaking winter with the snowboard sticking out the back
So you're
like
those guys.
surfboards. Yeah, we taped the
How very
freaking
California of you.
we taped a freaking blanket to the dashboard. And so I couldn't even see how fast I was going.
So
So
basically-
the blanket was over top of everything.
So basically, you were black sheeping it the whole time. Cardboard and
Yeah.
All right, you're up, Lance. Another one here.
Okay. Celica. GTS.
GTS, new or old?
Old.
Nope 2000.
Pep Boys.
Yes. Same answer. We were on the same page
Could have
there.
gone with that if I said Corolla too.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man. I'm laughing too hard. H2.
Small dick.
Should have bought a Jeep.
Pedophile would have also been acceptable.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Volkswagen Beetle, not old. The newer ones.
College chick.
Hairdresser.
Yeah. I can
That's
go
the
for
only thing I
that.
come up with that. I mean,
Yeah, especially if it's convertible.
Yeah. Just remember, it also had the little flower
The
vase.
flower vase,
oh,
yeah.
I should have said Clueless, the movie. Damn it! I don't have enough time. I need more than 5 seconds to think about this shit.
You mean Alicia Silverstone before she lost her mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did go crazy.
Yeah, they all do.
They all do. They're women.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Mine? All right. Let me think of a. I'll say Alpha 4C. We'll throw a new car in there.
Rich bastard.
Middle-aged.
AKA Matt's about to buy one. Probably.
Yes. I'm old, fat, and bald. Absolutely.
He fits. Little butter.
Yep.
I got
Little
another
Crisco.
good one for you. See where this heads. Jeep Cherokee Sport.
Cherokee Sport.
The square one.
The square one. Are we talking a four-wheel drive one?
Yeah, the square
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
I don't think they came any other way.
Yeah, they did.
You can get them
You
rear-wheel
give them
drive.
two wheel.
Oh, the old Cherokee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cherokee,
yeah,
like
Oh, the square body style. Like
Yeah,
I
square
had.
bodies. Yeah.
Jesus. The XJs.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming to the conversation, Lance.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
You just wasted the 5 seconds you were given.
I know. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Because that's all the people that drive them can say.
I would have to say Wheeler Wannabe.
They are the stance kid of the off-road world, typically.
They never seem to really be. They're either fully built or they're
They're like mud
half-assed.
racers.
Mud racers.
Mud racers.
Hashtag mud racer.
I'm going to put that up on Facebook
Mud
later.
racers.
We'll get that trending on Twitter.
Every single mall crawler we see needs a hashtag
Mud racer.
Yeah. Mud racer.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I think I
Any
have.
4-cylinder Jeep Wrangler.
Yes,
Mud racer.
yes, or in the 4-cylinder Cherokees.
Yeah, they had them too. They were horrible. The 6 was worse, though.
Yeah.
That 2.6 liter or whatever it was. Or
I had that. We were up in Carlisle. That guy had that Wrangler came by 4-cylinder. I was like, and he had a turboed.
Yeah.
Went by, I was like, what? I was like, that's a Wrangler.
Some guys do the
I'm
diesel
like,
swaps too.
Why would you waste your time?
Oh, let's see. What can I come up with now? Toyota 4Runner from the 80s. Square with the hard top that you could kind of look like you could take off.
trail rig.
Gay. Anything you like is gay.
You just did that to irk me. I hate you, you bastard. Hate you, you bastard.
I'm sorry. He drives an FRS, and we just talked about how bad the power plant in that
Yeah.
damn thing
Yeah,
is.
but those 4Runners, those solid axle 4Runners, well, they were solid axle and IFS, but
Yeah.
when they're solid axle like they're supposed to be, they're bad bitches.
He also teaches guys to drive trucks, so he spent a lot of time at truck stops.
Bitch.
Keith's
Is that why his middle name is Glory Hole?
Keith's
Oh,
Keith's
you guys
what
are
a
killing me.
lot of guys at truck stops would call a lot lizard.
Is that this?
Why does this always take a turn? We're trying to play a game.
And for any of those lot lizards out there, if you happen to notice an FJ key laying in the parking lot,
Yeah, please find it.
Please find Keith for Matt's. Oh, Jesus. Fuck, I'm already screwed up.
I don't own an FJ.
Anyways, Mark III conversion van, Dodge.
Dodge. We're talking about the extended one.
Raised roof, TV in it, captain's chairs.
Super pedo.
Oh yeah, free candy.
I owned one.
Makes sense.
All the stars just aligned, and we
yeah.
now see the light.
Yeah.
I so badly wanted to get a big sticker on the side of it that said Amber Alert.
He towed his race car with that. by
I
the
did
way.
tow my race car with that thing.
Picture that rolling into the dirt track. A Camaro towed by a Dodge van where the seat folds down into a bed electrically.
It didn't have a Hemi in it. It had a Magnum. Magnum
Even
V8.
Nothing says
creepier.
Silence of the Lambs like that combo.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
That engine was a real piece of shit. God.
Oh, I got a good one for you.
I got another one.
Ford Bronco 2.
Ooh, Ford Bronco too?
Are we talking pristine condition or
Doesn't matter. It doesn't change a thing.
this is true? Trailer trash.
Grizzly Adams.
That kind of makes sense. I kind of see where you both went with that.
Picture some lumberjack going up a logging trail.
For the people
kill
local
nature.
to us, Perry County.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That would have been a better answer. That summed it all up into one.
So I got one. It's 2 wheels though. A Gixxer. I don't care what size it is.
Brotard.
Damn it, you took mine! Hair gel Brotard. Because you know his hair's perfect after he takes the helmet off.
I was gonna say Affliction.
Yeah, well, that too.
Chevy Love truck.
So you have a Chevy Love truck?
Chevy Love. Oh, it's
This
a
is
tough one.
no. I'm trying not to say this and make it sound terrible.
Grandpa, because he still bought it new and he still drives to the post office.
But it's Grandpa whose last name ends in a Z. Lopez, Garcia, something like that. Look, I'm sorry, guys,
And
but
you know
that's
it's
a
a perfect-
fact. They're the only ones that have mint Chevy Love trucks. There's something about the Spanish community that they have
Old
the
Toyota-
most mint Chevy Love trucks.
Old Toyotas don't rust when you're owned by a Hispanic.
No, dude, there's 2 Chevy Love trucks on my way to work downtown that 2 older Spanish guys drive, and they're mint. I don't understand
We're
how.
gonna keep it racist. Here we go. Mid 80s Central Wagon.
The same guy owns it, and it's mint.
Yeah.
The same dude owns it, and it's mint.
It's the same
No,
name.
the same family owns it, and they all drive around in it.
Whatever, dude. They're mint. I don't understand how they keep them from rusting.
It was better than a circus car. More people got out of that thing when it stopped at a Walmart than.
Wow. What just happened?
Lance is going to be on the insensitivity bus tomorrow.
Yeah, jeez.
Definitely get flagged on YouTube.
Good thing we're not monetized or monetized, whatever the fuck they say it.
Yeah. All right. That went downhill.
Let's see. What can we think?
I said white trash earlier.
I got one.
I offend equally. Okay?
I got one. An IROC. I don't care what.
Mullet Thunder.
Lance is going to say race car.
Old Spice.
Old
They all smell like Old Spice and more.
And the guy that drove one got out smelled like Old Spice.
No, Old Spice
the
and
green bottle.
and cool cigarettes.
Cool cigarettes.
No, he only switched to those when he had a cold. The menthol helps my cold.
Yeah. Marlboro Reds.
Oh God.
80s Trans Am.
Same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Come on with some better. Come up with something better.
It's the same dude, only he didn't take the wheels off his house.
Fuck you, REO Speedwagon. I'm going to throw out my own answer.
That's awful. That's awful. How do we go down that road?
One guy at high school just sitting on the hood of
it's
REO
true.
Speedwagon.
It's true.
blaring out of it.
Yeah, no, that guy was there.
Like in Billy Madison, where he
Yeah,
got
exactly. Like
stroke me in his Trans Am with the shaker hood.
with the bird on it.
Jaguar.
Which Jaguar?
Just Jaguars in general, the company.
Oh man, that's so tough because if it's an old one, you can say some broke dick guy living in the ghetto. If it's a new one, he's just a stockbroker.
Horrible, sucked, bad, back to good.
Wow, you just gave the whole history of Jaguar.
I know. Horrible, bad. And that was like through the Ford era, which was
no. That was the
horrible,
sucked.
bad.
and everyone at this table wants one, so that's the funny part.
Yeah.
But now,
Now,
they're
yeah.
back to being awesome again.
Because they're back to being Jags.
And the old ones were good, but they were horrible cars.
Yeah.
Well, down that road, Bentley.
Soccer player.
I got a better one. This is it's still
Are you
Bentley.
taking back Bentley?
No, it's still Bentley, but I'm putting one word that's going to make the difference. Used Bentley.
Paris Hilton.
No, she's a used vagina.
Exactly. It's
wow.
word association.
You guys just took every thought I had and it's gone now. Thank you. I have nothing to say now because I don't know what. Yeah, no, it's over. That comment ended me for that one. Go ahead, next.
It's word
Yeah.
association.
No, next.
Okay.
This took a turn.
You knew it was going to.
Yeah, I had a hunch.
Ferrari.
That's so tough.
Yeah, that's pretty broad.
Because
Okay.
I can never afford one, I'm just gonna say one word: prick.
Okay, we'll go with this one. White Ferrari Testarossa.
Don Johnson.
Miami Vice was what I was gonna say, but damn it.
I would have gone.
Didn't
with-
Dr. Dre have one of them too? I think he had a white Testarossa back in the day.
Yeah, but
Because he got pulled over in it or
I
something.
think he only wore white when he drove it too, though.
Oh, Don Johnson? He
Yeah.
only wore
With the
white.
sleeves pulled up.
Yeah. It was either white or neon. That's all he
He
wore.
could definitely feel it coming in the air. Oh, Jesus. Off the rails.
Yeah, this one fell off the wagon.
A La Car.
That one weird dude who has a bunch of them in his barn. I don't. That's all I have to say because that guy does.
Muscoozy. If you ever saw Euro Trip, you
Yes.
understand
Yes.
what I mean by that.
Muscoozy.
Muscoozy.
There's a big tunnel coming up. Oh man.
That's the only thing I just picture that guy driving that. Muscoozy.
That's what the horn does when he blows
it.
it. Come on, Keith, you got to come up with one.
I've got one. Fully restored 69 Camaro.
Wow. Are we talking OE restored?
Oh yeah, fully restored numbers matching 69 Camaro.
He is a muscle car douchebag.
Ace of Spades. Oh,
Well
yeah.
played. Well
Yeah,
played.
I want with Motorhead.
Well played. I was going to say Affliction Clothing, but hey, that works too.
That would be if it wasn't a numbers match.
Numbers matching. If it was
It'd have an LS in it
Pro
or something.
Mod or
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
call it, Pro Touring.
It's Pro Touring.
I got one. 4-wheel drive. Mazda MPV minivan.
Crystal meth.
Damn it, you took mine. I was gonna say weird hippie that lives in the wood and does a lot of drugs.
It was always the smelliest motherfucker.
Oh, the work on them when they give it to the dealership, you dreaded it.
It was
It's at a dumpster? No, that's your next client.
I can say that from working on
That and the Previa. The Previa was the same way. It was either
Yeah,
mint or it was trashed.
No, but the MPVs, every time they came in, they were 4-wheel drive, and they had like every weird like camping thing, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it was actually used for camping. It
Camping,
was
no, it
more
was
for
living.
living.
Because you
Yeah.
were weird. And the tires, they were 4-wheel drive, but the tires never matched all the way around. There was always 4 different tires on
They
them.
were always like burgundy,
Yeah.
shit brown
Or
red,
blue. Or that
something.
horrible faded blue with the MPV logo on it because they were proud of themselves.
Speaking of shitty vans, I got one for you. Chrysler Town and Country.
Front-wheel drive minivan burnouts.
I have no words. That's my answer, literally. I have no words.
Mine would have been smoke screens. Every single one of them burns oil.
Oh, yeah.
No, dude, this is going to get me in trouble. My mom had one. We took it on road trips for BMX skate park action. Yeah, there may have been a lot of guys in the back e-brake action.
What year, Caravan?
The town, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
The square ones and new ones, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so the square ones, I'm going to say best race car ever.
If it was
Because I raced dirt track oval in those. Best race car.
If he would have
ever.
gone square only, I would have said turbo front-wheel drive 5-speed burnouts
Right.
because my buddy had that van.
Best race car ever.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
I'm saying. Best race car. This is not so much as word association as phrase
Yeah,
association.
this is just the blatant
Hey,
random
couple
thoughts.
words are doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best race car ever. Everything I raced, that was my favorite thing to race.
That and
was
on that note, we're gonna wrap it up because there you have it. The
I got
best
one.
race
One
car
more-
ever
one more
made.
before we go. Fiero GT.
You had to go there, didn't you? Say it. I don't care. I've heard it all.
I don't even.
I have
I had
heard it
so many.
all.
I had so many rifle through. I'm gonna restore this one day race car guy.
Poor man's Corvette.
Only if the new Corvette's mid-motor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The original poor man's Corvette. It's fiberglass or putty or whatever it's
Whatever it's made out of.
Tupperware.
Tupperware is actually closer because there's not fiberglass on that car.
It's Rubbermaid and Tupperware.
Tupperware, yeah.
And the funny part was, when the year my car came out, it was actually faster than the Camaro that came out that year. Which isn't saying a whole hell of a lot.
So you can keep defending it. We won't call you gay.
That's
The
okay.
Iron Duke.
The Iron Duke.
I don't have an Iron Duke in mine.
Oh,
My first one did.
crap. That went to hell.
And it didn't blow up.
Not yet.
Well, I don't know where it's at
sure
now.
it's dead somewhere in a trailer park.
No, some guy that like used to work for Hustler magazine is probably driving it around
You
to the
still got the stash and the hair and the boots with the
Yeah.
goldfish
Got
in
the
them.
formula stickers down the side.
Yep.
Paid extra for them with the MSD scoop on the side.
Yeah.
Holly.
Holly, it's Holly, wasn't it?
God, he even knows.
Because I have it on my
That was
88.
the next one. I was going somewhere with that.
Oh, shit.
And the crazy part is, new you could buy that scoop for $20. Now they're going on eBay for like
Oh, I'm
$300.
sure they're worth a fortune.
It's a piece of plastic.
Oh, shit.
It didn't do anything. It just
Man,
made
that
it
really
look
went
cool.
off the rails bad. So there you go, folks. That's what happens.
Well,
We tried to play
think,
a game.
I think we can all figure out what went down there. Keith's gay. Matt's a nerd. I'm an idiot.
I'll vouch for you're an idiot part.
I'll vouch for you're gay.
Oh.
I'm not going to get into this with
Stop
you.
looking at me in the shower. It's getting weird.
Make sure you back out of the house later.
Don't drop the soap. I don't take it in. I'm scared.
On that note, we're going to have to subscribe Keith to Playgirl and a vape pen.
Yep. We're
Keith, just look at us and say, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I pretty much have. It's-
we'll get you a new vape thing, a gerbil, a nice tube. You'll be fine.
Just like that WRX is for sale. It's got a built-in vape in the dash.
yeah. I saw that too.
And on that note, we have no more sponsors, so we don't have
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
But don't forget, next week we'll be at No Down. So
Oh, yeah.
we got up at Knoble's Grove. We'll be up there all day, being our normal, cheery, bullshitty selves.
Yeah, we might even try to do some more stuff up there.
Yeah, I'm not so much a people person, so don't talk to me while I'm up.
Well, we got a couple interviews set up for the show.
If all goes well, we'll have our shirts for sale, depending on what happens there.
Yeah, we got our first batch. It was a little messed up, so we
no fault of Tyler's though.
No,
It
no
was-
fault.
No, it was ink issue.
Well, he even took care of it. He sent them
Yeah.
back immediately.
Yeah,
so,
so we'll see if we
quality is
get our
something that's big
return
on his mind, so-
shipment. We'll
Got some new slap stickers coming
yeah, we'll have
out.
slab stickers, bunch of stuff. We'll actually have things.
We're gonna
might
do,
even have our cars there.
Hopefully that beanie kid can show up now and tell me that I can't sell stuff.
Yeah, when we weren't selling stuff.
You just lost a customer.
We had nothing
weren't
for sale that
selling-
day.
we had nothing
But
for
hey,
sale.
beanie guy, if you're out there, we'll have stuff for sale at this event. Please come up and tell us that's not how you sell things.
And then we'll tell you to politely go fuck yourself.
What we do.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna try to record live there. We're gonna
Yep.
do the
Yep.
show
All
couple-
that. Yep. Sure.
as we throw
And-
stuff at Lance.
Yep. Bye.
September 11th at Knoebels, No Down. We will be there. Thanks to our sponsors, eJudged, Baked Goods Creative, if they'll still talk to us after this mess. See you guys next week.
We'll do word association with them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be
That's
like
what we should do.
every answer. You guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. White trash. And Lance smells weirdly like Funyuns. Anyways, that's all we got time for this week, guys. Until next time, see ya.
You've been listening to the Circuit Podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and SoundCloud at The Circuit Podcast. Like Enzo said, what's behind you doesn't matter.